just don't, it's just so hard. I'm just really gonna miss him. It's just really hard. A little PSA before the video starts. I just want to clarify, please, please, please do not go send hate to this boy. As much as it seems like I'm not over it, on this video, I am over it. I'm over him, and he has sincerely apologized for doing this to me. So just don't go send hate, and this is meant to be a video for people that are going through breakups so you guys can relate. And hopefully it can help you guys, because I went through shit when I got dumped, and so hopefully it can help a lot of you guys out. So enjoy this really sad video. Alright, I don't know which one of y'all said this, but in my last storytime video, when I was like a juicy storytime video, someone said, you know it gets real when Nick pulls out a drink and a metal straw. And bitch, you are right. It's about to get juicier than ever, guys. So hi, how you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing good. I was doing good until I remembered the story. The title of this video is not clickbait. This shit actually did happen to me. Am I still petty about it? I'm finally gonna be talking after all these years about the time where I surprised a boyfriend of mine and he dumped me on the same day. Literally, like, I was not planning on doing this video ever, because I was just kind of like, I'm over it now. Like, did this specific story time scar me for life from dating and everything? Yes, it did. So a lot of y'all are probably wondering, Nick, then if you're over it, like, why are you doing a video about it? Basically, two things happened this week anyways. I was at my friend's house and we were like all having a wine night, and we were all playing this game called Spill the Tea. And this game pretty much just says what it is, like you have to spill the tea. And one of the questions was, talk about your worst breakup experience. And I talked about this story time that I'm about to tell you guys. And both my friends were on the floor laughing and crying because they felt really, really bad for me. And then they were like, Nick, like, have you ever told this story on social media? And I was like, no, I've never said it on social media before. And they were like, bitch, you need to. Also, I think the bigger part of why I'm doing this video today is because I've been getting a lot of DMs recently about a lot of you guys asking me for advice on how to get over breakups, how to get over exes, how to get over crushes, how to get over people that you are, you know, close to and love. So at the end of this video, I'm gonna talk a lot about that. Alright guys, so let's just get right into this video. I'm over doing this intro. Let's get right into it. A little PSA before I start this video. This is absolutely like not me doing this video to suddenly be like, oh my god, everyone go shove this hate to my ex. I really don't care anymore, and he's apologized multiple times for doing this to me, and a few of them were sincere. So also this happened almost 3 years ago. We both moved on, so this is not a video to be like, I fucking hate you. We were both stupid kids back then, one more than the other. So like I said, this happened in early 2018. So I had just turned 18 and he was still 17 at the time. So we were still really young. Like, I'm 20 now, so I don't know, I feel like in 2-3 years, like, people can grow up a lot. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like over the last 2 years anyways, I've grown up so much mentally, like, as a person. Basically, so if y'all don't know, I used to date this guy from England, not Ant, someone else. I did a lot of videos with him on my YouTube channel, so if y'all are like OG ItsJustNick fans, y'all would know who he is. Earlier that year in 2017, I did my first video where I surprised him for the first time, and that was my first ever, like, you know, meeting a guy across the world, and like, it was super exciting time of my life. I did that first video. We were always long distance, so I went back to Canada, and then in early 2018, when this shit happened, I had the tremendous idea while I was in Florida to book a flight and surprise him, my ex. At that point, I missed him a lot because we were long distance, obviously, so when you are in a long distance relationship, it can be really hard. So little things like surprising someone, especially when you live halfway across the world, is like a really big surprise, and I thought it was a really big deal at the time. While I was in Florida, I was planning this surprise for like a few, like maybe like a month or two with like my friends and family, and everyone was like, yeah, it's a great idea, Nick. He'll be so happy to see you. By the way, while we were long distance, I saw like zero signs of him like being sketchy or anything. Like, when we were texting and FaceTiming, he was like, he seemed his regular self. Like, he maybe he like seemed a bit off, but like nothing where I was like, oh, he's gonna dump me. And then finally the day arrived, guys. I was so prepared. Like, literally, I took like these fake Instagrams of like LA, and I was like putting them on my story so that my ex would think that I'm in LA and not going to see him. I was like so ready for this surprise. Like I prepared myself really well. I kept telling him like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to LA for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see all my friends in LA. I dead ass, guys, I had my friends literally post stories about me going to LA just because I was so paranoid that he would know that I'm coming, right? But little did I know, he had no fucking clothes coming. I filmed the whole video about this, by the way, so y'all can actually see this video on YouTube still today. For this specific flight, I had like the craziest like flight plan. So basically I had to like fly from like Florida to like Pennsylvania, and then from Pennsylvania to London, and then from London I had to like take a 4-hour bus ride to his house because he lived like a few towns outside London, 4 hours away. You know, 6-hour time difference. Like it was one of those flights that like, you know, was overnight. Like you kind of left during the day in the United States, and I landed in the morning in London. So I got to London airport, my nerves were racking up. I hadn't slept all night on that flight because I was so nervous about surprising him and like seeing his reaction. Like also at that point I missed him a lot, so I was just super nervous about meeting him again. So after I landed in London, I took the 4-hour terrible bus ride to his hometown. I don't have like a lot of space right here, so enjoy my close face angles. I guys had like 30 minutes to grab a train to get on this bus. It was insane. I somehow made it. I don't know what I'm saying, to be honest. I have like a 4-hour bus ride. I don't know how I'm gonna even process myself. Imagine having like a whole like 14-hour flight schedule with like layovers and shit, and then having to spend another 4 hours in like a tiny, but it was all worth it because I was gonna go meet my ex, well, not my ex, but back to my boyfriend, and I was gonna go surprise him, and it's all gonna be really exciting. So even though I was in physical and like mental pain because of the traveling, I was just so ready to see him. Finally, after like literally, I think it was like almost like a 20-hour journey. Like if I'm calculating it from like the second I left Florida airport to Pennsylvania and then London and then London to, we're talking about like at least like a 20-hour travel schedule of just constant travel and like no sleep. Okay, I finally get to his hometown. So his best friend at the time, me and his friend were like setting this up. We were like, yeah, we'll meet like at his gym and like we'll surprise him, blah blah whatever. So it turns out like I got to my Airbnb and I was just texting his friend, and since me getting there, like nothing worked out. James has not answered him yet about the dinner. Well, he said he's gonna say yes, so hopefully he does. If he doesn't, we're gonna have to come up with like another last minute plan. I'm gonna go take a shower, and hopefully after I look good, you know, not crusty like this, and everything's good to go, and we're good to go with the surprise. Alright guys, so little update. So it's literally been like, I don't even know, like 3 hours. I don't even know what happened. Go to the restaurant after all. I'm just like really cold and hungry. I just want to see my baby, and like I can't. And I'm stuck in this Airbnb and I don't even want to be here anymore. So like I was texting his friend and he was saying like, oh, finally he's not at the gym. He doesn't want to go to the gym with me. Him and his friend were gonna go work out together, and then I was gonna pop up and like surprise him at the gym. The biggest surprise is why I would be at a gym, honestly, but anyways. So then his friend was like, okay, well let's just meet at this restaurant, but then his friend did not want to go to that restaurant. So anyways, nothing worked out. So at this point it was getting really late in the night, and y'all can see it on my video again, but it was getting super late in the night and I was just like so tired. All I wanted to do was just see my boyfriend at the time. So finally I just say, you know what, fuck it, nothing's working out for me for this video, but I am here right now. He still has no idea I'm here, so let me just FaceTime him and see what happens and be like, bitch, I'm here. No, the FaceTime happened. So I FaceTime him and then he goes, hello, what's up, mate? And I was like, oh, hello. So I'm actually in your hometown. Hello. Well, I have some pretty big news. Do you want to hear it? Like, how would you react if I told you that I'm literally 10 minutes from you?
You're lying.
No.
I thought you were in LA. No way.
We have this FaceTime call. He's all surprised. I don't think I inserted this part of the FaceTime in the video because this was awkward as hell. But basically, I was FaceTiming him and I was like, oh yeah, so come see me at my Airbnb. It's like whatever. I think it was like literally like 15 minutes from his house. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll come see you tomorrow morning. And I was like, tomorrow morning. Like, I just flew across the world to come see you. I took 3 flights, a 4-hour bus. I'm like 6 hours delayed. I've had no sleep. Like, I want to see you now. And he was like, oh no, like, I'm so tired. And so can you imagine, like, being on FaceTime with your boyfriend at the time and just being told like, oh, you just flew across the world and you're jet lagged as hell and you're tired as hell and you really want to see me and like you're so excited, but I'm just gonna come see you tomorrow morning? Like, this doesn't add up, right? So I think that was like my first hint that I was like, okay, something's gonna go down on this trip and I don't know what it is yet. Like at some point I like put my foot down and I was like, no, like I want to see you. Like I just flew like halfway across the world. And then like after convincing me, having to buy his taxi from his house to my area. My guys, I'm over it now, by the way, so don't like go hate on him, okay? He was dumb back then. I think he was going through shit. I had to pay his fucking taxi to come to my Airbnb. And then he comes in, gives me a little awkward hug. And I think that was like my second like hint in my head that I was like, okay, some shit's about to go down. And he goes, oh, well, it's great that I'm here now because I have to talk to you. And I was like, oh, okay, like what's this gonna be about? Oh, like what, you're gonna make me meet your parents? You're gonna make me meet all your friends? You're gonna take me out? Like what could you possibly be surprising me with at this time of night? So he sits me down and he goes, listen, Nick, it's just not gonna work out. I just don't love you like I used to. So now you can imagine my 18-year-old ass on a bed halfway across the world, jet lagged as hell, like mentally I'm like fried, and I'm like, is this really happening right now? Is this actually happening to me right now? Like, what the fuck is going on? I think in my brain, like it didn't hit me, because what I had told him was like, oh my god, can we like at least stay together for like 3 days in this Airbnb that I bought for both of us? Because I had bought this Airbnb for like a good 3 nights, right? So I was like, can you just stay with me at this Airbnb for 3 nights and see how things work out? Because I thought I had only bought it for 3 nights because I thought that after 3 nights I would be staying at his house, which didn't happen, of course. So after, again, a lot of convincing, he decided to stay over for 3 nights. Stay here for 3 nights and let's try things out. And if you really still don't love me, then leave. And I mean, that was like my #1 mistake. Like, usually if someone dumps you, like, you shouldn't react that way. I think at that point, guys, like, have in mind, I was like in some random town in England. I knew nobody there, like, and you just got dumped, you know, like, you don't want to be by yourself. Like, even if you have to be with someone that dumped you, I think that's better than being by yourself in that situation. But yeah, so then he stayed over for 3 days. And then after the 3 days went by, he said, okay, Nick, I still don't love you anymore. And I was like, okay. So then thankfully at the time I had a friend who lived a few towns over, so I gratefully got to stay at her house for the rest of my trip, because I had booked like a 2-week trip. Like, I was there for like a whole week and a half, okay? I deadass think there's like footage of me on a train crying, and in the video I was like, oh, I'm just crying because I'm gonna miss my boyfriend. Ugh. But little did everyone know I was crying because he had dumped me for the 2nd time. I'm sorry if it's really loud. I'm on a train right now, so that's why it's loud. Sorry. So currently I'm going to my friend's house who lives a few towns over from James, and so I'm not gonna see James until I don't know how long. I just don't. It's just so hard. And like, I usually don't cry on camera just because I don't like to show my emotions, and I like to show positivity through my videos. I'm just really gonna miss him. It's just really hard. Anyways, so I'm on this train, and I think it hits me then and there that like it's over and like I'm not gonna see him ever again. And I didn't, by the way, after that happened. I got to my friend's hometown. She was amazing with like consoling me and everything. And I remember just like leaving her house, and like she lived in like a tiny little village in England. And I remember just like walking around this tiny ass village at like 2 a.m. just like bawling my eyes out, bawling my eyes out at 3 a.m. Like, I cried for like, I think like that whole week pretty much. Right, so that's the story time of when I surprised my ex-boyfriend and he dumped me. No one go send hate to him. This is not what this is. I'm over it now. That's why I'm joking about it. If I did this exact same video like 2 years ago, I'd probably be crying while I'm saying this video, but I'm very much over it now. And I just did it to explain to you guys how to get over men or women in general. So breakups, guys, are never easy. I really dealt with it a terrible way. A big part of my breakup when it happened was I have to make myself look better, because in my head I was like, he must have done me because I'm ugly. So my coping mechanism back then to get over him was to loads of awful diets. I'm not even gonna go too deep into that because I've already went through that. That's not what you have to do. If you want to make yourself look better, do it in a healthy way, you know, like work out here and there and like eat healthier, but don't go to like extremes to look better, because you don't need to, okay? What everyone told me at the time was, you will find someone new and you will get over him. At the time, like if I told myself this advice, I'd still be like, Nick, shut up, like you're wrong. But my advice is this, guys. If someone breaks up with you, or a crush doesn't like you, or someone that you thought was your true love is not your true love, I genuinely think it all happens for a reason. And my life till now has proven that theory right. Now being with Anthony, like I realized how many differences me and my ex had, and like it probably wouldn't have lasted more than a few months anyways, because we're so different people. Like when he had dumped me, I thought there was no way I was ever gonna find someone as good as him, and even though he was like a dick to me towards the end, like I always thought like I was never gonna find someone as good as him. But then like little miracles like Ant come into your life, and now like look, I'm like here 2 years later, bought my first house with my current fiance, which is insane. All right, my camera cut off, but what I'm gonna say to finish off this video is, even though you might think that person that you're trying to get over was your true love, or you'll never find someone as good as them, they broke up with you for a reason, or they didn't like you for a reason, okay guys? I know it sounds shitty to say, but you will find someone better. You will find that person that literally makes your life amazing, and like that you'll buy a house with in the future, or that you'll, you know, propose to. You will find that person, okay? And that person that denied you is not it, okay? But just work on yourself. If someone just dumped you, or someone just, you know, said they don't like you, I know it's hard, but don't linger too much. Like try to focus on yourself, your own goals, and then during the process of figuring yourself out, the right person might come into your life, like happened to me. Just don't give up on love. Focus on yourself, on your goals, on your achievements, and the right person will come in at the right time. Alright guys, I'm gonna end off the video right here. Guys, in the comments, I know some of y'all have some crazy breakup stories, so in the comments, guys, tell me all your craziest breakup stories. Spill the tea down in the comments. Tell me your embarrassing crush experiences. Just tell me like all your embarrassing, funny, or sad love stories down below. Also guys, if y'all want to follow from me, all you have to do is hit the bell, subscribe, and comment down below. The notification squad shout out. If y'all do all three of those things, I'm gonna go follow you. Also guys, if y'all feel bad for old me, give the video a thumbs up, or you guys thought the video was funny, give the video a thumbs up to let me know. Alright guys, that's all for the video. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna see you guys after tomorrow's on your video. Alright, bye.